Hi, I'm Susan Armstrong from Susan Armstrong International. And I'm here today with you to talk about one of my great passions in life. And that is the three conditions that as adults we live with or live under. And I call them conditions because while they're not really a secret, you can research these online. There's been plenty written about them over the years. It surprises me how many of us are still not aware of them. So as a speaker, I travel around the world and I talk about this all the time. It's a huge passion of mine. I've been studying this and applying this to my own life for almost 30 years now. Why? Well, I'm not going to bore you with my story. You can go to my website at susanarmstronginternational.com and watch lots of videos about my story. I've written a couple of books about it. But suffice it to say that I spent 20 years living on the street, addicted, abused, property of a motorcycle gang, eventually homeless, and I had to recover from all of that. And it's that recovery that led me to discover these three secrets. And it's these three secrets, these three conditions that has caused me not only to live the life that I lived on the street, but also to be able to recover from that and live the life that I live today. You know, we all have secret dreams and desires. We all want things. And I don't know if you've noticed, but you immediately start talking yourself out of it by telling yourself why it's not possible. And this is the importance of these three conditions. If we can start to become aware of them, if we can start to work with them and change those conditions within our own lives, we can unlock potential that we didn't even know was there. And trust me, you know, when I came off the street, if you had told me that 30 years later I'd be an international speaker and talent development expert traveling around the world, I would have thought you were the one on drugs. So it's these things that have led to my success and why I'm so passionate about them and so sure that if you just become aware of this and make small changes, you can unlock unlimited potential in your own life. So let's look at these three conditions. Now I'm going to do a video that goes a little bit deeper into each of these and how you can work with these and change some of the conditions in your own life. But we'll start with just a little bit of an overview of each of these. The first one, and it was the first one that I discovered, is called, I call it center of the universe. Now, there's many other names for it, worldview, mental model, but basically it's how we view the world. And the problem is that we all have a very unique way of viewing the world based on our age, where we're from, our upbringing, our parents, and again, we'll go into this deeper in another video. But we all have a very different way of viewing the world. Now, this causes us a number of different problems. First of all, if I think that that tree behind me is black, and you say to yourself, well, actually, no, it's green, we've got a conflict. We have a problem. So this idea of center of the universe means that we all have our own unique way of viewing the world. Center of the universe also means that we believe the world revolves around us. So as we see things, we automatically assume everyone else sees them the same way. And when they don't, we think there's something wrong with them. Or, depending on your level of confidence and self-esteem, we think there's something wrong with us. And so this center of the universe mentality, this view of believing that our way, our view, our guidelines, the way we live our life is the right, the true and only way, is the quickest way to get yourself into trouble. And I promise you, you hang your center of the universe on someone else and expect them to see the world the way you do and behave the way you want them to, you will run into problems. The second one, which is really part of center of the universe, because these all kind of run together, is conditioning. So we were all raised in very different ways. And like I said, who were your parents? Where are you from? What was happening in the world around you, in society, at the time you were born? We're programmed by people outside of ourselves before we're even old enough to realize that it's happening. And so what happens is these tapes, this conditioning, these imprinted rules about right, wrong, what's possible, what's not possible, who we are, how we should behave, they're very deeply embedded in the subconscious, and they have the power to guide your life. So just as a really silly aside, or maybe not so silly, one of the reasons I don't post on LinkedIn or YouTube, I don't post a lot, is got to do with this conditioning. So when I grew up, I was taught that I should hide my skills, my talents, that I should not draw attention to myself. So while I'm out there, I'm a professional speaker and I speak to audiences of, 10, 100, 1,000 people. The idea of posting this is actually terrifying because it's subconscious conditioning that's still operating in me and guiding my life. And this is what I mean about becoming aware of this. And if you're aware of it, you can work on it, as I am right now, to change it and overcome it. The third one is what happens as a result of the center of the universe mentality and our conditioning. So these two together cause us to create self-fulfilling prophecies. So basically, whatever you believe, you will bring to fruition. So whatever you believe will drive your expectations, that will drive your behavior, and that will dictate the outcome. And you've all seen this 100 times. You all probably do it 10 times a week. I don't like my job. I should really quit my job. Yeah, but there's not a lot of other jobs out there, and I probably will never get a job that pays me as well. And what if it's not as close to home and the benefits and oh my gosh, all of that work. So you know what? I'm just better off staying where I am. What the heck is that? And then we wonder why we're unhappy. We wonder why we're depressed. We wonder why we're struggling, because we all have dreams and desires, but we're shutting them down because of beliefs that aren't even real. They only live in your own mind. So yes, I'm really totally passionate about this because this is something that, like I said, I lived under these conditions, having them guide my life in not a very positive way, actually a very dangerous way. I spent 2 years trying to kill myself before I was able to come out of this. And once I discovered these conditions, it became a massive passion of mine, not just to apply them to my own life to achieve the success that I have today, but to share them with other people. Because understanding this, working with this, and making just small changes in your inside world and your belief system and how you think and how you respond to things will result in massive changes to your outside world. So in the next few videos, we're going to cover each of these conditions in a little bit more depth. So look for the next one where we'll go deeper into Center of the Universe. Again, I'm Susan Armstrong from Susan Armstrong International, and I hope you have a fantastic week.